So you started some seeds indoors and they're starting to sprout. You're getting excited and they're starting to produce some leaves, starting to grow. When is it safe to transplant those? The common answer to that question is when they've developed their first set of true leaves. So what does that mean? Let's take a look at some seedlings that I've started and see some examples of the first set of true leaves versus what's called the embryonic leaves. So when a seedling sprouts, the first couple of leaves that come up are not the true leaves. So those are called embryonic leaves, or the technical term is Cotyledon. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's a technical, scientific term. I just call them embryonic leaves. Some people call them seed leaves, but they're not the first set of true leaves. So let's look at some seedlings here, and we'll see some examples of the embryonic leaves. So right here is a little plant with two embryonic leaves. So those are not the first set of true leaves. They're the first set of leaves, but again, not true leaves. Here's another one. You can see this one is different plant, obviously. This I think is basil. This I think is a tomato or a pepper. Those are the embryonic leaves. Another sprouting here, embryonic leaves. Embryonic leaves, back here, embryonic, embryonic. Now when we move to these guys, now we're starting to see multiple leaves. We've got more than just the embryonic leaves. Now it's hard to tell on this one, but if we go to this cabbage plant, you can see a pretty clear difference between the embryonic leaves and the true leaves. So these leaves here, when they first started, looked very much like these, almost exactly like them. And now they've sort of curled up and they're fading. This leaf, you can tell, is much different than that. This leaf, much different. So these leaves are the embryonic leaves. These are the first set of true leaves. So out of all these seedlings, this little flat here and this little flat here, those are safe to transplant outdoors. And you can see I've already done that. And I have a video on transplanting. You can check that out where I put some of these in the ground. You can watch me do that. So these, I've done some of these as well. These are lettuce. These are cabbage. So now you've determined the first set of true leaves. Next step is to either transplant those into other containers like these here, or to transplant them outdoors. And if you're transplanting outdoors, you really need to do what's called hardening off, or acclimating them. And we're going to do another video on techniques to do that. So check that out in the future as well. So just to recap this quick video, the answer to the question, when is it safe to transplant my seedlings? It's when you find that the seedling has developed its first set of true leaves, like these guys here.